What is up, my Sabronis? This is another week, another episode of the Sabo Standard Podcast with me, Taylor, and my buddy CamDog. Hi, Scott.
Why is it always Sabronis? Can't it be Cambronis?
No, because I was saying jabronis for years. Like I would call kids jabronis all the time. Like jabronis is my thing, and then they're my Sabronis. I'm not the first person that said that. A kid came in like last year to my room, and they're like, they said like jabroni to me, and I said no, you don't get to say that. That's my thing. And they're like, well, what if I just call myself your Sabroni instead? I was like, yes, that's what all my disciples are. You know, all the kids that like flock to me, they're my Sabronis, and now all you guys can be my Sabronis as well. And so my son is a Sabroni, my wife is a jabroni. You're a jabroni also, but it's okay. Yeah, I've been saying jabronis for years.
Whatever.
It's my thing.
I was just wondering. You have to be selfish about it. Enough about that, though. We're not talking about you being a terrible person. So
yeah, we don't got a lot to talk about. There's not much to get to over the last few days of football. What is football again? I don't even follow that. This is a podcast about life and teaching and laughs.
Surely football is a sport where what's the Saturday Night Live skit where it's like, no, we'll call it football, or
The
says all the and the hamburger would be made out of ham. Oh, I wish, or something like that. Yeah,
that would be silly.
So that would be So college football playoffs.
Yep, the college football playoffs quarterfinal round came and went. Obviously, we got on Wednesday night after the loss and talked about it. I have some things to say real quick before we get into the next games. Just kind of follow up, because on Wednesday night I was more shocked and more like, and then the next day I was kind of like, I was a little over the next day. Then the next night I kind of got upset again. I got frustrated. At the end of the day, here, and you said this. You said like, get humble or be humble or get humbled, and that's something that, shout out to Coach Dick. He said many times to us this year about, with high school football, like you're either gotta stay humble or you're gonna get humbled, and it happens. The only one team at the end of the year can be happy. And when I say that I'm frustrated, and I say that I'm mad in the sense of it's college football, and I love it. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about the team that I love. At the end of the day, I'm a very happy person. A wise man once told me, okay, credit to this wise, bald man, okay, he said it's just football. And at the end of the day, when you have kids, you have other things going on in your life, as you mature, you'll realize that it's just football. And so I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to say things to Miami fans, to other fans in the state of the union that I am passionate about. And I love this sport. I love Ohio State football. I love Steelers football. I love the things that I love. But at the end of the day, I'm not. It doesn't ruin my day. I'm not going to 2026 like I did 2022 or 2023, whatever year that we lost to Georgia, just angry. I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful son. I have a job that I like. 75% of the time I get to coach, I get to podcast, I get to talk to you every week, and so just want to get that part out of the way. Now, with all that being said, these Miami people, we said beforehand like 2 weeks ago, they're the worst people on the planet. Oh my God, they're the worst people on the planet. Like
they're Mount Rushmore. They're Mount Rushmore.
Oh my gosh! Like I posted the TikTok
Ohio State
and I
fans
told,
are too.
No, we're fine. We're not bad people. These Miami fans. First off, I've never seen a group of people so bad want to see me shove a burrito at my butt. You said it, and they're like, no, you need to shove that burrito right up your. Like, you guys are so weird. You're so weird. Like, I apologized to every person that commented before the game. I said that I would, and then people afterwards that had intelligible things to say, I did reply back. Like, they're like, this was the difference. I'm like, yeah, I agree with you, or I don't think so too much. I think it was more this for Miami, or Carson Beck. Like, there was good banter back and forth, but the amount of people that are like, everybody down at the U, they're going all the way, like.
Yeah, the 305, we're going to come get you.
The thing is, too, is like, first off, Ohio State last year, we would have never gotten in the position to the playoff with 2 losses until the 12th team. And Miami got in with 2 losses. But it's not like they were a 12-0 team this year. We were the better team all season long. And you said it last week that they were the better team on Wednesday night. And they were 100%. But for these Miami fans to act like this team all year long has been so dominant, you lost to 2 bad teams. You lost to Louisville and SMU. Not bad teams, but 2 average teams. A team that what you showed Wednesday night doesn't lose to those teams. You played your best game of the season on Wednesday night versus us. Because if you watch Texas A&M, there's no reason to think that that was going to be the result. And that's why I said what I said, predicted what I predicted. They played great. Their defensive line was outstanding. Their linebackers tackled very well. And Carson Beck was good. He wasn't great. He threw for like 140 yards, but he did what he needed to do. Their offense was good. Their coaching was spectacular. They did a really good job, and they were the most physical team. They were the better coach team, and at the end of the day, whether Ohio State won or lost, Miami won that game. Congratulations. Oh, my God, it's your first big win since, like, the 2000
They're like
2001 national championship. Like, it's so ridiculous.
They're like they're the Michigan of the ACC. It's like,
yes.
Remember this time where we... Yeah, I do remember that time. That all happened before you were born, by the way. So here's the thing. And actually, you know, I have this fake Miami cup. If any of those Miami fans there and always in your comments, if you want to actually send me a Miami University of Miami cup, I'll use it. I will swallow my pride and the drink that's in here rather than using a Dublin City Schools Greenwood. So let's see how kind those Miami fans really are.
Let's see. Congratulations to them. And I honestly think
they did well.
They have a chance to win a national championship. And I think that them playing in the Natty versus either one of the... first off, any matchup that we can get between all four teams is going to be a fun national championship. They have a chance to win. But God, for the people that were in I honestly want Miami to lose by 100 for them. But for the sake of like, hey, we lost the national champs, like part of me kind of wants to see Miami make it to at least the national championship because I think they can give a really good game to Indiana. I think they give a really good game to Oregon. I just...
Can we just get rid of Michael Irvin though?
Oh my gosh. How much cocaine did Michael Irvin do that night?
Listen.
And the answer is all of it.
Michael Irvin was a great receiver. I like him in the longest yard, but there's a point where it becomes kind of obnoxious, you know, and so it's like, whatever, man. Yeah, it's like, I'm coked up Irvin. Yeah, you know, it's like, dude, chill out. I'm going to take this belt. I'm going to beat this Gatorade jug. Chill down. Now, here's the thing. It is interesting.
Real quick. I saw a podcast. They were saying that Miami fans they act like they were on the team. Like I know I say we all the time, but they act like they played and they act like we played, like we had any difference.
Yeah.
Like, just this like, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, so Carson Beck, when they lost to Louisville, I watched the very end of that game because that was a Friday night game, and I had to call a football game on the radio that night. And so I got to catch the very end of it. And it was a very poor... There's a couple bad throws he threw, some interceptions, and that's what ultimately doomed and sealed their fate in Louisville was a bad interception. Ironically, and he learned from those mistakes where, hey, man, I just have to manage the game and trust the coaches. And he did that against Ohio State. And interestingly enough, the guy who threw a really bad interception... Granted, half of it's his fault. The other half is Jeremiah Smith and his ghost block. The interception is the one that doomed Ohio State, interestingly enough. And so, yeah, Carson Beck, it's one of those things where as much as I don't particularly like that guy, not personally, but athletically, I don't think he's going to do anything in the NFL. But he learned from his mistakes earlier in the year, and he didn't make the mistakes against Ohio State. Good for him. Good for him.
Ryan Day-wise, real quick. I'm most frustrated with Ryan Day after this loss because, you know, I was the one last week that said he rights his wrongs. He makes up for those mistakes, all those things. You know, part of it is the Heartline thing. And again, there's nothing against Heartline. I wish at this point he just should have went. And he got a job, and I'm happy for him. I'm thankful for him. His loss isn't on him, but just the distraction of all the things. And Ryan Day maybe choosing when he did to call the offense. But the offense that was called was not what Ryan Day said it was going to be, and the pace of the play and all those things. I know the Michigan loss last year was really bad, was his worst loss of his career, and a lot of people called for his job, and I don't blame him for it. I'm at the point, like, this was the most frustrated I've been with Ryan Day was after that loss. Now, at the end of the day, when I think about it, and I think what the 12-team playoff is supposed to do and what it can provide is chaos, and we're going to get really good games the rest of the way. Georgia losing, kind of makes it not as sting, but then at the same time it does sting because it's like, man, we would only have to be Ole Miss to get to the national championship. But at the same time, too, Ole Miss is really good. Like, they have proven that they are really, really good. So
now here's the interesting thing. You ready? Well, first off, from an Ohio State aspect, but you're kind of talking about Ryan Day. Interestingly, and I saw this somewhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, we got this. Lose to Michigan, win a national championship. Beat Michigan, get a first-round upset loss. We as Ohio State fans have now gotten to experience the what-ifs and what-aboutisms in one calendar year. And I've honestly got to say, at this point for an Ohio State fan, I would much rather win a national championship every year and lose to Michigan every year. I'll take 100%. That anymore. 100% all day long. I can deal with the obnoxious Michigan fans, and they can talk about their national championships before the Model T was even created. Good for you guys. So, it's interesting how we've gotten to experience that. That being said, moving, like you were saying about the teams, if you look at it, Ole Miss, which, by the way, it's hilarious that Lane Kiffin gets on the sideline. He's like, that's my team. No, it's not. Bye. He
gets some money for it, too. LSU's paying the cash.
Yeah, right. And so, but what you have is really motivated teams. Indiana always is going to have a chip on their shoulder. Ole Miss, there's Ohio State of last year. They're the team that's like, we have a chip on our shoulder. We're going to prove something. Now, Miami has that a little bit. But Ole Miss, I mean, you don't get any danker than that. It's like, dude, it's like your dad leaving and you're trying to become the rock star. Ole Miss is like the Eddie Vedder of, the Pearl Jam of football right now. It's like, my dad left me and here I have to be this big rock star and I'm going to show that I belong. And they're doing it, man. And not only they're doing it convincingly. Georgia, the refs were very generous to Georgia that second half, and Ole Miss overcame that. So good for them, man. Good for them.
Yeah. You brought up a point about, obviously Ohio State losing to Michigan last year, win Natty, and then vice versa this year. I agree 100%. I would much rather 10 times out of 10 win a Natty and lose to them, because I don't know, the joy I felt after winning a national championship is a lot more joy than I feel after beating them, because at the end of the day that means nothing if once we fall up short. I don't know. So obviously I want both, but if you gave me a choice of one, I'm choosing the national championship.
Which one lives longer in immortality of the mind?
The national championship, right?
Bingo.
I mean, we don't know it. We can't. You're not gonna remember every single year, every time that you beat Michigan, but you're gonna remember the national championship years, especially the ones that you're alive for.
And really, the Michigan thing is now anymore. It's just for both sides. It's to win a game so we don't have to listen to the other side for another 365. That's what it is anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a hatred, it's annoyance of the other side. But yeah, I mean, when you win a national championship, you get to do the same thing, except instead of one team, you get to do it to another 133 teams or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's pick those games because they are fun matchups. At the end of the day, like, now that we don't have a rooting interest, and first of all, I'm kind of my order of wanting to see a team win it. I want to see Oregon win the most. I like Dane Lanning. I don't hate Oregon out of all these teams. Indiana, Big Ten, so I'm going to root for them second. I like Cignetti. I can't stand Mendoza. And then it's a toss between Ole Miss and Miami. Like, I really don't care the rest of the way. Yeah. He's cool, man, though, but no emotion. He doesn't give any emotion. And so, we'll see.
I'm just going to stand like that for the rest of the podcast.
That's great podcasting right there. So let's do the Thursday night matchup, Miami and Ole Miss. This is one, like, if Miami's defensive line plays like they did against Ohio State, it will get really interesting because Chambliss is such a good guy. He like, Georgia's D-line was getting to him, and he would just reverse field so many times and be able to go make a play. I don't know if Ole Miss's offense can be as explosive, though. And people were in the comments saying, like, did you not watch? We said that they were going to score. We just didn't think they were going to be outscore Georgia. It's a 52.5 over under, and the line is Miami minus 3.5. I kind of like that number. I think it's close. I really think Ole Miss kind of can put up some points against Miami, but this is one. It's like it's going to be 24-20, 24-21.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Now listen, when you're looking at what Georgia offered in terms of the Miller McLeod Hall and Grip, I mean, listen, if Ole Miss can handle Georgia's line, I think they're going to be able to handle Miami's line. I don't think they're going to dominate them, but you're right. Like Chambliss, he's so squeaky, and he's like a buttery popcorn kernel that's sitting inside of a bag for years, and then all of a sudden put him in this little microwave of pressure, and then pop, he's on fire, and he's just like. It's one of those deals where it's like, man, if they can handle Georgia's line, why can't they handle Miami's line? Mm-hmm. Right? And so I've got to pick Ole Miss on this, and not necessarily in disrespecting Miami as much as I don't like them, but I think it's just a matter of they're going to be a better team in the end, and I'm going to say 31-24 Ole Miss.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna lean towards the Miami side. I am. I think that their defense really impressed me a lot, and I think that their defense is just gonna be able to get enough stops. So I'm gonna pick Miami. But I think it's gonna be an excellent game. I really think Ole Miss they're gonna be able to hold their own just fine with Oregon or with Miami.
Ole Miss has depth. Miami does not. If Ohio State didn't come out playing like a bunch of ding dong knuckleheads, doo-doo dunderheads in that first half, Ohio State, and throwing that stupid interception, missing the field goal, crap like that, Ohio State wins by 14, 17 points easily. So you could see the lack of depth from Miami. And you've heard me say this before, you're only as good as your backups. You're only as good as your backups. And Miami is loaded, but I'm not so sure about their depth. Ole Miss has the depth.
3 drives in the second half for Ohio State minus the one on the very, very, very last, like after, Miami had scored the touchdown and you gave them that touchdown, try to go get something, that he threw the second pick. 3 drives in the second half, and dudes were on their knees gasping for air. We want to slow it down. And that's we're going to get into that later out the offseason. I'm going to break that down a little bit. I want to go through every single loss that Ryan Day has had and see like how many times has a kicker missed a kick. I want to go through that game. There's some conversations to be had, but it's not worth having tonight. So, Oregon, Indiana. This one is Indiana minus 4. The over-under is 46.5. Here's the thing about this. Indiana is clearly the better team. In every single way, Indiana's the better team. Not that Oregon is bad, and not that Oregon can't keep this close. But everything about this game says to choose Indiana. Everything about what Chris Cignetti has done, how they just dominated Alabama 35-3 the other day. It wasn't close. It wasn't competitive after the first quarter. Ty Simpson got hurt. He wanted no moss of what Kurt Cignetti was doing to Alabama. He got freaky with them. He was not going to let anything be. It was not close at all. The only reason that I feel like Oregon has a legit shot, though, is there's been one Power 5 team this year to beat that same team twice. Other than that,
can you pick a different idiom? Getting freaky with them.
He was the kid that got caught with the vape in the classroom, and you were the principal that laid down the law.
Okay. Just saying.
There's been one instance this year where a Power 5 versus Power 5 team beat the other. Obviously, Ole Miss beat Tulane twice, but other than that, all the rematches, Ole Miss versus Georgia, obviously, we just had one. Bama, Oklahoma. Like, all those have the other team was one. The only time it didn't happen was Texas Tech beating BYU. And there's a big gap between those two teams, and there's a big gap between Texas Tech and Oregon. We saw that. And so can Indiana beat Oregon twice? Oregon is a really, really good team. Indiana is a great team. Can they beat that really, really good team twice, though? We haven't seen it happen, and that's the only reason that I'm leaning towards Oregon. But we are so stupid if you pick against Kurt Cignetti right now and what he's doing.
You know, the funny thing is, what did Georgia go? 12-2, 11-2, or whatever. And the teams that they've lost to, they beat.
Right.
It goes right in line with what you were saying. And so you're right. Based upon that continual modulation of logic, you'd think that, then surely Oregon's not going to lose to Indiana. But I got to make my pick, man.
I know. It's impossible. You can't pick against them.
24-21, Indiana. 24-23, Indiana. Write it down,
Last second
kids.
field goal.
Last second field goal.
Oh man.
1 point Indiana win. And you know what, man? I have a really good. Hold on, I have a really good friend who lives in Indiana, and he said, he said it's nuts there right now, and it's just people are really latching on to everything. They're totally buying into the culture now, and yeah. So it's a great feel good story. The way I see it, and I explained it to somebody yesterday, a buddy of mine. I said, I'd be happy with 3 of these 4 teams winning. First of all, Indiana. Second of all, Ole Miss, just because I hate Lane Kiffin for doing that crap to him, and I think it's wonderful. It's the Eddie Vedder story. And in Oregon, you still get a Big Ten victory, so that way the SEC people can be like, but we can't make out with our sisters. And then, but then you got Miami, and I don't want Miami to win. But it's an ACC school to win, and it's good for the balance of power in the end of things. But they beat Ohio State, and so I'm kind of like, I'm mad about that. But it would also be a good feel-good story, too, because that means 2 years in a row the national championship was won by teams that just got hot, if Miami or Ole Miss win, too. So there's some of that in it, too.
If you get an Indiana Miami national championship, we are essentially Indiana last year. Indiana's 2 losses were Ohio State and Notre Dame, the 2 teams that played national championship. Our 2 losses would be to Indiana and Miami, the 2 teams that played national championship, which just means that we are going to the national championship next year.
Have you seen the transfer portal?
The transfer portal is not great. It's also not awful. I'm not one to overreact. Obviously,
hold on, before you get into that, did you give your prediction for Oregon, Indiana?
You said Ole Miss, Indiana. I said Miami. So I, just for the sake of us going against each other on this one, I'm going to pick Oregon. Because you can't be the same team twice, a really, really good team twice. It's going to be a phenomenal game. It's going to be a great game. I'm excited for it. I'm going to pick Oregon on the upset. I'm going to pick Miami, and then or I get an Oregon-Miami national championship. You have an Indiana-Ole Miss national championship, and then next week we will kind of go from there on how.
I think we need to do a Fernando Mendoza prediction. Can you give us a Fernando Mendoza prediction? Or do you want me to give you one?
Nobody believes in anything that we can do. I believed in it. I believed in us.
We're going to do fantastic, and the teams are going to be exponentially greater this week versus last week. And I just wanted to thank the Lord. It's been fantastic what we've been able to do. Coach Signetti's awesome, isn't he? Boy, I love him. He rubs my feet.
Okay, speaking of the transfer portal, I am not one to overreact to transfer portal. I'm not one to overreact to kids not staying at Ohio State after they commit to him. I do wish that Bryce West and Aaron Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish those two would. I wish those two would stay. I feel like there was a lot of potential there, and then obviously I'm a little upset about Mylan Graham. But when a receiver leaves, you can't blame him. We are very rich in the receivers every single year. Somebody will step up. We'll be fine. He's so talented, but he also didn't shine as much as I thought he was this year based on what he did in the spring game last year. The only time that I am okay though with the kid leaving, that I'm not like, because all these kids like. After they commit transfer portal, sometimes I'm more like, okay, I'm happy for you, go be successful. But when kids decommit before they've gone to Ohio State, I'm not mad. Like, I don't want kids that don't want to be Buckeyes. The only time I'm ever okay with it really is when a quarterback leaves, because there's only one quarterback. And so like Keenholz, he's committed to Louisville. I hope he's successful. I hope they go 12-0. I hope he wins an ACC championship next year. I want Keenholz to do great. I love Lincoln Keenholz. He spent 3 years here. He won national championship. He learned a lot. He did everything he needed to do to be a Buckeye. And like I said, Mylan, I'm a little upset about. The one that I'm really, really upset is Jelani Thurman. As soon as the game's over, you're posting that you're leaving. It's just kind of like you can't wait till the next day. Yeah.
Kind of a douche move.
I'm gonna believe that Ryan Day's got a plan. If we're letting corners walk away, I'm gonna believe that we have a plan. He let Tegra go today, or Tegra left. I'm not saying he let him go, but
Right.
Tegra left today.
Yep.
You know, we will see what.
He was kind of beat up, you know, at the end. So, you know, I get it. He's just sometimes kids leave out of frustration and the depth chart and injuries and stuff too. So there's some of that.
I just don't like. Obviously, we've talked about the schedule, and I don't like as soon as the season's over, it's here. But it's better than before. You knew who was transferring kind of beforehand. A lot of them, like the Sam Levitts, all those guys, like between the conference championship games and now, and so obviously it's got to come soon. But with the season still going, like Signetti and Dan Lanning both like joked today, like we're doing recruiting while we're getting ready to play each other. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and losing the Twins in the transfer portal, I've been looking for the name right here, and I can't remember.
Did both of them leave? I thought just one.
I thought the way I read it said they both left. He joined his brother in leaving, and I'm like, yeah, Devontae and Deshante or whatever. But which that's a whole nother thing. Why do people have twins and then name their names so close? Like, did you not think that through? That when you go to yell at a kid, the other one's going to be like, are they yelling at me? You know, or when you're calling them for dinner, like. Why do they do that?
That's what I'm considering. You have a brother. You have a twin brother named Shot.
You have a twin sister also named Taylor.
I don't actually.
You're right. But anyways, so the thing is, you know, I think that hurts. You saw the offensive line this year, especially down towards the nitty gritty of the season, was not where it needed to be. Losing depth on that really is, I think that's going to be problematic. So they're going to have to do some they're going to have to do some deep digging, if not recruiting, and trying to maybe turn some kids, but getting stuff out of the portal. Yeah, they've got to do something, you know. Do you think Alabama's losing any more of them centers? Think we could steal another one of them? Yeah, but, you know, it's all-American centers. But, yeah, the transfer portal is just as important as recruiting anymore. And I think losing Mylan Graham, that's not going to hurt us next year. It's going to hurt us the year after that. And I think that's, you know, I don't care about next year. Yeah, we're fine. It's about that depth and getting kids into your culture, getting kids into your weight room, learning your system, the way of doing things, and losing kids like that, it doesn't hurt you in the indirect next year. It's the year after that can really get you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I hear you, but with the transfer portal, like you're worried about the 2 years from now. These got ability to. Ohio State's going to always reload and not rebuild. Now, you keep taking steps back and reloading, it's going to be really hard to win a national championship again. But we'll see what Ryan Day has. I believe he has a plan. If he hurts me on this, if he screws me on this one too, I feel like there's just been, if we get gypped after what we just saw, I'm gonna start walking towards the train. I'm not hopping on it yet, but I'm at the point now where I'm the most upset with him I've ever been. But we are also selfish as Ohio State fans. We just won a national championship and we're upset with our head coach because we didn't go back to back. I mean that's.
But you should have gone back to back.
Yes.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Yep. But you didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. And you know, the fact that was like a third of the players that are in the portal now, and like Iowa State at one point only had 16 players left on their roster. Like, what the heck is going on? Can we fix this or do something? We got to have sit out a year, all this crap.
Yeah. And
here's the thing. It's the people are like, I think those kids deserve to get paid. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm not talking about that. It's the fact that you have more rights in free agency than professionals, and some kids are getting paid more than professionals.
Yeah.
Other than the schematic issues with that, you're also talking about what does this do to make kids want to stay in college? 10 years ago, that was a great discussion point. Hey, let's have kids stay in college and develop. But now what's happening is kids can make more now, they have more flexibility now versus the pros. And so you have kids that might be able to want to get in and play Division I school or get a scholarship, but they can't get in because some moron, like the guy who went to the NBA, wants to come back and play college basketball again. Like, no, dude, you're taking a scholarship. Why would this should never be happening? What is?
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the portal and NIL and everything else.
Yeah, and we're gonna play a commissioner for the day episode in the offseason. We're gonna have a lot of weeks to talk through a lot of this bull crap after we kind of get calmed down about it. But the last thing about it that I and I've said this many times, I agree that a kid should get one free transfer. Coaches can leave at any point, leave you kind of high and dry sometimes. Maybe a kid goes for that coach specifically. Julian Sayin and Caleb Downs went because of Nick Saban. And obviously we were lucky enough to get them. I think every kid should get one free transfer. But the kids that are jumping in it over and over and year after year for the more money, for the better opportunity, that's what hurts the sport, and that's what ruins it. Yes, the second time you should have to sit out a year.
Yep.
And so we have all those ideas that we can share later on, but let's transition to the NFL. Right now, the Steelers-Ravens game is going on as we record this. Baltimore's up 7-0. As a Steelers fan, I expect 100% that the Steelers are going to lose this game, but we're going to do our playoff picture because everything is set other than this 4 seed. The winner's in, the loser's out, so everything else is set that we can kind of go through and pick them. So let's just get that game out of the way. Houston is either going to Pittsburgh or Baltimore. My prediction is going to be real easy based on whether this game happens. I hope, obviously, Steelers win and get in. I don't think it's going to happen. Derrick Henry's just going to run all over us like he currently is. But either way, whether it's Baltimore or Pittsburgh hosting next week, Houston is going to go in and beat them. Houston is one of the hottest teams right now. C.J. Stroud looks like rookie C.J. Stroud right now. Like he does. The deep ball, the playmakers, and the defense is best in the NFL right now.
Yep, they're clicking. And at this point in the season, and this is true on most every level, especially northern teams, you have to run the ball. And Baltimore has a good running back, Grant. Henry's had some dropsies and stuff and fumbleies and stuff, but you have to have the ability to run the ball. And Pittsburgh doesn't quite have that ability and everything else that's going against them. So I think Baltimore is going to hold on and win tonight. But yeah, right, it doesn't matter. Houston's going to win the next round anyway. So,
Bills, Jags. The Jags are one of the hottest teams too right now. Trevor Lawrence is playing out of his freaking mind. It seems like they put up more points every single week. But this is Buffalo's time. Like, if you are the Buffalo Bills and you don't have Patrick Mahomes in your way and you don't win, you don't make it to the Super Bowl, they're getting fired. Like, the head coach is getting fired. So Buffalo's going to come out really hot, and I think they're going to go into Jacksonville, and they are going to win that game as the 6th seed winning that one.
Now, if you look at the Jaguars' recent schedule, I just pulled it up, and let's see, they beat the Titans today. They beat the Colts. Then they did beat the Broncos. That's a big win. But they beat the Jets, the Colts, the Titans again, then the Cardinals. They did drub the Chargers, though. So it's one of those things where, wait a minute, they've had some good wins, but they've also been playing some bottom feeders. So I think their record is a little bit inflated, whereas the Bills have had some they've had some injuries, they've had some things going on, tougher schedule, I think, overall. So yeah, I'm going to pick the Bills. I think they're going to beat the Jags.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe it'll snow in Jacksonville. It'll snow in Jacksonville, and Buffalo's going to, they're like, oh, we swim in this stuff.
No, they postponed the game the next day because they can't handle it.
That's right. Florida fans and Florida people are generally weaker. It's where old people go to die.
Or Miami Hurricane fans go to live.
5, baby.
All about you. I'm going to beat up this Gatorade jug. All right, next.
Chargers heading to New England. New England is good, man. New England is really, really good. I feel like the Chargers kind of scraped themselves in. The Chargers are much better than what I give them credit for. They finished 11-6, but I don't know. There's something about this New England team this year. They're going to win some playoff games. I like New England.
Yeah, and the Chargers, if you watch them tonight, they did not particularly look sharp. And the last thing you want is to go up to New England and Gillette Shaver Stadium and play the Patriots right now because they're just hot. So, yeah, I think the Patriots are going to win that game too.
Vrabel's coach of the year.
Yep, absolutely. It's a shoo-in.
The Rams headed to Carolina. Carolina actually finished the season really well, too. The Buccaneers absolutely fell apart, the back half of the season and kind of let Carolina scrape in. To get 8-9 and get in, it is fluky. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL all season long. They've had a rough kind of last few weeks, too. But I think they're going to get back on track and get at least that win.
You think Carolina's going to win?
No. I'm saying the Rams are going to beat Carolina.
Listen, as a sidebar, I'm just going to say it. I don't give a crap if you won your division. I do not care if you won your division. I don't care. If you have a losing record, you should not be in the playoffs. Period. And here's why. It's not like, it's the SEC or the Big Ten where they have really tough schedules. It's not like that. It's like, no, it's the NFL. You're going to have good teams, bad teams. It's an even thing. When you go under 500 and you make the playoffs over another team that did not go under 500, what are we doing?
Let me read you this.
Putting the best teams in.
In the NFC, the only other teams would be 8-9 Bucks, 8-9 Falcons, 6-11 Saints in their own division. The NFC East is 7-9-1 Cowboys, 5-12 Commanders, 4-13 Giants, and the other team is 3-14 Cardinals, or the 9-8 Vikings and 9-8 Lions. Which I agree. I think Lions are much better, but it's only a 1-game difference between those 9-8 teams and the 8-9 teams. You win your division. It's structured. This is the thing, though, about college football versus the NFL. It is structured, so this is exactly what it is. You win your division, you are guaranteed to be in. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whereas in college football, we get real upset with, this is how it is, but this, and then this, and then this, and this, and this. And this is why I don't argue with the NFL. This is how it is. This is how the rules are structured, and it is the same for you, and you, and you, and you, and every single team.
Correct. And if you go under 500, you shouldn't be in it. Because let's say, okay, what is after Carolina? How good are those teams? They all have winning records, don't they? But just because they won their division, but they're under 500.
But I just read you. There's only two other teams in the conference that have a winning record.
Okay,
it's not like they're
11-5.
11-5. They're 9-8.
Then put one of them in. It's real simple. It's like it doesn't matter if you won your division. I'm sorry to be here and tell you, you suck. You suck.
I agree with what you're saying.
And so
it's gonna get proven on the field when the Rams beat them.
What was it? Was it the Buccaneers who got in at 7-9 or something like that one year?
No, it was the Seahawks one year, and the Seahawks, they won a playoff game doing it. It was beast mode. I think that was the one where Marshawn Lynch had the long run, and it set up a kind of a run for them. After that, within a few years, they went on and competed in 2 Super Bowls and won one. So it does help. It's momentum, and you get a home game for it, and they might win it. Now, I don't think they win this one, but
no, I don't either. I think the Rams are too much. Stafford's too much. But that's just a side piece. I just poor
This
idiot
is the
again,
game of the first round as the Niners are heading to the Eagles.
Ooh.
The Eagles are trying to obviously go back-to-back. The Niners are kind of the hottest team in football, besides kind of Seattle. And early on, before you started joining us every week, my NFL predictions, I had the Niners being 4-13. I thought they were going to be really bad this year. I didn't trust Brock Purdy, and then they just kept getting injury after injury after injury after injury. Their defense can't stop anybody, but man, their offense can put up as much as they want.
Correct.
McCaffrey is so good out of the backfield. He is the best receiving running back I've seen in my lifetime, probably. And obviously Kittle, and they have no other real receivers. Pearsall, the guy that got shot last year. He doesn't suck because he got shot, but he just saying that's who he is. He got shot. They have no other real true wide receivers, but Kittle and McCaffrey, just such workhorses. I just don't try. I'm Niners fans are going to treat me like I'm thinking that I act like they're Miami Hurricanes fans. I just don't see them being able to get it done in the playoffs at Lincoln Financial in a playoff night. And obviously Philly is not the same team that they were last year. But I just think the injuries are going to catch up to them at some point, and they kind of have started to. I think Philadelphia wins that game.
And I will say, Barkley kind of
kudos to the Niners for what they did this year. And
sure. Yeah. They overplayed their expectations. But you're right. They couldn't stop a run to save their life. And their defense is just bad. And the worst thing you want is to have a defense that bad and going against the Eagles with Adams and Barkley And I know Barkley got beat up a little bit last week. But, man, you're playing the Slim Reaper and Barkley. Like, if you can't stop anything, then that's the last thing you need. And, yeah, I think Philly's going to win that one pretty convincingly.
Yep. Well, the next one is dear to you. Your Packers are heading to Chicago. Could you imagine in your lifetime this being a playoff game? The Packers heading to Chicago. Ben Johnson, he is good, and Caleb Williams looks really good, and their offense is really explosive. I thought he was going to have a year of struggling. I expected him to kind of do this. I didn't think it was going to be with Caleb Williams. I really like Chicago a lot. Is Jordan Love back for this game?
I don't know. I think they've kind of been sitting him out, just being precaution, because they already had stuff wrapped up. And I think so it's a combination of make sure he's good to go. We got stuff locked up. Yeah, I'm not saying they threw games, but there's no need to.
Been a roller coaster. It was such a high, and then you guys peaked, and then everybody just kind of got injured. It's crashed since then. And in Chicago, they've they peaked, and then they've lost a few of their last few games. They lost today. It didn't really matter for them because the Eagles ended up losing 2, but it got them the 2 seed to host Green Bay. It's nothing against your Packers, but I just really like I really like Chicago. I really like Ben Johnson. I think that they get this one done.
Yeah. With Love in the game. Now, I'll say this. I think the Packers are going to go in and they're either going to win by 3 or they're going to lose by 14. There's no in between. Because you're thinking about Love coming back after being out. And then, the Bears, they didn't get killed today. They lost a good loss, And so I think it's one of those deals where, cold isn't the issue. Running isn't the issue. The Bears have a great defense. And I just don't know if the Packers are going to be running all cylinders in that game. And I think the Bears are unfortunately going to beat them bad. Don't say that, Scott. Bears are going to win.
Repeat after me. Good, better, best.
Good, better, best.
Never let it rest.
Never let it rest.
Until your good is better.
Until your good is better.
And the better is best.
Better is best.
Go Bears.
Bears.
Hey, this is a fun game. Houston going to New England, 5 versus 2. C.J. Stroud getting a playoff win, heading to New England. Mike Vrabel. I like the Patriots in this one, but it's
whoa. We don't even know if that's going to happen. We're worried about that next. You want to do that now? You want to go all the way?
Yeah, I mean, we get it wrong, then we'll go from there. Just let's rapid fire then. I'm going Patriots. I'm going Patriots on that one. I'm going Bills over Broncos. I'm going Eagles over the Bears, and then we get Rams Seahawks again. I'm going the Rams over the Seahawks on that one, just because the first time was the second time that was such a fun. It was game of the year. The Seahawks got it done. I don't think they do it 2 times in a row on them. And then I got Bills over the Patriots. I got Rams over the Eagles. And then my Super Bowl is the Bills and the Rams. And Josh Allen does not get it done. I think the Rams win the Super Bowl. And I'm going to be entirely wrong because it's gonna end up being like Bears Broncos, but it's okay. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong a lot the last few weeks.
I think we're going to see. Interestingly enough, the Super Bowl's in San Francisco, and everyone's like, "Oh, San Francisco is going to get hot," and it's a conspiracy of the NFL. I don't see that happening. I think at the end we have. I think the Bears. I think the Eagles are going to beat the Bears. There's just too much experience for Philly. I don't think Seattle is going to last. I think it's going to end up being the Eagles and the Broncos. And again, I think the Eagles just have too much experience. I think Denver's good, but Bo Nix. I saw Bo Nix try to make a throw out the flats tonight. It was just a shave route. It was nothing complicated. And he overthrew the receiver by 5 yards in the air. I'm like, dude, who you throwing to?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 guys who've ever thrown a ball can make that throw. And it's like, where are you throwing, dude? And I don't know if Bo Nix is there yet in that big of a situation.
I agree. He's not there yet, and that's why I kind of am losing early.
Pats Broncos. Yeah, one of those two is going to get to the Super Bowl.
I said earlier that I've been wrong.
Because the Bills are not at home. The Bills are not at home, so they're always traveling.
Hurt themselves. I just said a minute ago that I've been wrong a lot recently, and so a lot of these comments are on these TikToks because we make our predictions. Do these guys even know anything about football? You know anything about football? You're so stupid. You don't know nothing about football.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I know a good amount. I feel like I have some good football knowledge. I really feel like I got some. I know football. I've been around football. I've watched a lot of football. I've been in football in a lot of different capacities. I feel like I know a little bit.
Well, there you go. And that's the thing. Do these guys even know football? No, but I also know that I don't have to play a sport like that all the way to the pro level to know anything about sport. And you can look at some great players, great coaches of all time, and they didn't. And look at Stephen A. Smith. That guy, all he talks about is basketball, and he averaged like 0.7 points a game in college at like the University of Santa Ana Technical School of Beauty, A&M.
Come here, buddy. Come here, Grayson.
We got a visitor.
Come here, Gray. Let's get it.
Do they even know football?
This boy knows football. Hey, give me a hug.
Now, interestingly enough, everyone, when Taylor told me that he was having a kid, he's like, when I have a kid, I'm going to put a football in his hand from the day he's born. Like Tiger Woods was his dad, and Earl's going to... Man, so my kid's going to be the next Tom Brady. And here I'm talking to myself. So there I was. Born a baby. It was a really dark, windy night one time. And then all of a sudden, my dad said, "Oh my... Hey, man, how's it going?"
I heard everything he said, yes. I put a football in his hands from day one like Tiger Woods and Earl. I
was recounting the birth night.
Yeah, I remember the night I was born, actually. I remember my mom holding me. I was looking out the window. It was a dark, wintry night in Great Falls, Montana.
Is it like the SNL skit when Will Ferrell pops out as a full-born?
One's a little bit before mine. I didn't watch all the Will Ferrell ones.
Oh, man, that's too bad.
We don't got much left to talk about. There was one more thing you wanted to discuss, and that was the
CamDog's conversations.
Oh, wait. The Browns Super Bowl championship. The Browns Super Bowl championship today. Oh, wait. I forgot. They didn't win the Super Bowl today. They had a player who broke an individual record in 17 in NFL history. It will stand forever with 23 sacks, because when TJ Watt played only 15 games back in 2021, he had 22 and a half. He played 15 games. He missed 2 with injury, 22 and a half sacks. And then they said the one that he had on Lamar Jackson wasn't a real sack, so they took it away from him. He should have had 23 and a half. I'm not bitter at all. I'm happy for Browns fans. I'm happy that you have something to get to celebrate this year. Congratulations on your Super Bowl victory. Sorry, again, I know it's not a Super Bowl victory. Congratulations on your individual award for your player that had 10 sacks within a 2-game span and then took, 15 other games to get 23 minus 10, 13 sacks. That sounds real average. Sorry. Great accomplishment, Myles, Garrett.
Hey,
it will stand forever. I'm just trying to be a troll.
I know. But the Browns defense is actually legit. It's a really good defense. It's just too bad that their offense sucks so bad.
They're gonna end up making a mistake, and they're gonna fire Stefanski and I think elevate Schwartz, who's a great defense coordinator. He's an awful head coach. He's a very bad NFL head coach, and I hope that they do it because it'll be hilarious.
It couldn't get any worse than it is right now, hardly. But it looked a little bit like Joe Burrow kind of went down softly. I will say though, teams intentionally
He tapped his hip and then he fell down.
But in the last couple weeks, teams have been, and I know you're like, oh, they're not taught. Steelers aren't trying to. Aaron Rod. They were clearly trying to not get sacked.
No, they just sucked so bad. They had no receivers. They were trying to win the game, and they lost. And they're just like they're going to lose tonight. And that's the thing. Like, they're going to try to troll me. But listen, you guys can't troll me on anything. Pittsburgh's going to lose tonight, and we're not making playoffs. We have nothing to celebrate either, okay?
That's fine. I'm just saying, it was a little bit soft of a sack, but at least he did get it. And do you think that record will stand? How long do you think it'll stand?
I don't know. I mean, The rate of really good pass rushers coming in the league is high.
Yeah.
It's the volume. Can you stay healthy for that long in 17 games? And can you have one game every 8 weeks of a 4-sack, 5-sack game? If you can have that and then have the 1 or 2 sacks per week, then yes. The thing that he was really good at was the 2 games where he had the 5 sacks. And that obviously the 10 sacks within a 2-game span makes it easier to do it. And so again, that's not a diss on him. Like, he had 5 sacks in the game twice. That's phenomenal. And so that's what somebody would have to do in order to break the record. I mean, that's what, like, TJ Watt was, the year that he got 22 and a half, it was like every single week had 2 or 3 to get those numbers up. I think Strahan had like 2 weeks. I could be a little wrong, but I think Strahan had 2 weeks where he didn't get a sack. So you have to kind of work.
He had a gap where there was nothing there, because he's really good about having a gap where nothing's there.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a gap with nothing. So he did in 16.
Anyways,
TJ was 15, and then Myles in 17. And again, I'm just being a troll. Just being a troll. It stands in the NFL record books forever. He is right now the current sack leader.
Now, here's the other thing. Do you think he'll be the second person ever to reach the 200 total sack club with Bruce Smith?
What's he at right now?
I don't know what he is right now total, but Bruce Smith is the only one that's had 200, and that's how he ended his career. And I mean, people underestimate Bruce Smith. They totally forget about it. They're like, oh, the Whoppers. Oh, it's like, dude, no, Bruce Smith was a beast. And then Reggie White was, I think,
he's at 125 and a half. There's no way he gets another 74 and a half in his career. He's already played a good amount of time. I mean, even the next highest. The next active player is Cam Jordan with 132, Von Miller with 139. I just don't see it happening.
If he goes 5 more years and gets 15 each year, that's a lot, though, I know. But that just shows the veracity.
15 times 5 is that's still only 65.
Right, I know, but that gets him in the ballpark.
He needs 74 and a half.
I know, but he's getting in the ballpark. That's 5 years. If he goes and plays another couple years and gets 3 or 4 sacks, I'm just saying it gets him in the ballpark. That goes to show how good Bruce Smith and Reggie White really were. And keep in mind, that was before the pass happy league of the NFL. So,
of course, yeah, yep.
So good, that just shows everything.
All right, let's get CamDog's conversation done. That way we can end this,
okay.
And I can go suffer and watch the Steelers lose to the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay. Serious question. What is the most important thing on a dinner table? The spoon, the knife, or the fork?
The fork. When I am grabbing utensils out of my little cabinet, I'm grabbing a fork 9 times out of 10. Even things like macaroni that you eat with a spoon, I'm using a fork. Like, there are very few things that I need a spoon over a fork for. There are more things where I need a fork over a spoon for. And I can cut with a knife. I can bite it off with my teeth. Or I can cut with a fork and bite it off with my teeth. The knife is the least important of those. I actually have probably the knife over the spoon. Even cereal. I could eat cereal with a fork. I don't need the milk.
What, do you put water in your cereal? Are you
No, I'm saying I put the milk. You can put milk in there, but I don't want to drink the milk with it. I don't drink milk. The milk is to make it a little wet. I could just use a fork. Now, do I use a spoon? Sure. I'm just saying I could use a fork. It's fine. I'm good with a fork if I need to.
Have you ever had cereal with water before?
No, actually, you know what's funny though? For Christmas, you want to know what I got for Christmas?
Sure.
I got a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch from my father-in-law. You know why?
Because he heard you didn't listen.
Because he listens to the podcast. Shout out, Mark.
Hey,
he listens to the podcast. He bought me.
I didn't get a box of cereal.
Yeah, I know you did. You didn't get your.
But I'm waiting on a Miami cup.
I'm gonna post it. I'll get it for you.
Here's the thing though. The spoon. Think of all the things you can put in a spoon. Yes, I know the. Listen. Somewhere Michael Irvin just had. Bing!
Every time you mention crack, Michael Irvin appears.
Look, Mommy, every time you say crack, Michael Irvin snorts a line. So anyways, but it's one of those things where, with a fork, you can, pry. I think we all agree. The knife is the least important thing. However, you never know when you're eating a nice steak dinner and you need it for a steak. It's hard to cut meat without it. But also, if you ever get attacked while you're eating dinner, you can't defend yourself as easily. But if you have a knife, it's not outside the realm of possibility of things that can happen. But definitely the knife is the least important of the three. So we're left with a spoon and a fork. Yes, you can cut things with a fork, but have you ever cut things with a spoon?
Listen, rapid fire at me foods, and I'll tell you if I use a fork or a spoon.
You do this.
Rapid fire foods. So whatever food you want, I'll tell you if I use a fork or a spoon.
Lasagna.
Fork.
Soup.
Spoon.
You almost said fork.
I didn't. I was waiting for you to say spoon. Come on, keep going.
Corn.
Fork. Yes, you can get the kernels on a fork. And eat it.
Green beans.
Fork.
Baked potato.
Fork.
Chicken.
Fork. Case closed. I win. Arguments over.
Some of them are just so stupid. Mashed potatoes.
Fork.
What? You're a madman. You are a madman.
You're invited over to dinner anytime you want. I'll make mashed potatoes and I'll show you how you do it with a fork.
I know. I'm not saying it, but I mean,
you're probably using a fork like my kid does.
Listen. The fork is a nice shovel to put things into a spoon, so you can put more things on your spoon into your mouth. A fork only holds a limited number of things, whereas a spoon can hold everything. The spoon is a great capacitor holder, whereas the fork only holds what's on them tongs. Let me see them tongs, CeeLo. Who wrote that song? Let me see the... Who was it? Yeah, CeeLo was the guy with the little hands. Who's the guy who wrote the thong song? What was his name?
Oh, my God.
Cisco. Cisco. That was his name. So, sorry, Cisco, wherever you are.
Is your wife in the other room hearing you say that and she yelled it out? She knew it?
No.
Yes.
No, believe me.
Cisco.
So I don't know, man. I'm a spoon guy, man. Spoon. I'm the spoon man. Soundgarden was so happy.
Yep. You are a spoon guy.
Man, come together with
you are a spoon man. Yep.
I am the spoon man. And I'm the little spoon.
I bet you are. Oh, Aaron Rodgers just threw a deep ball that the third string receiver couldn't hold on to. But
Aaron Rodgers is the big spoon.
He is your big spoon, I bet. All those nights you dreamed of spooning with Aaron Rodgers after you threw Hail Marys that
in darkness in the dark room.
That receivers used to catch. Anything else for the good of the order? Right under 60 minutes.
Yeah, man. I think we covered everything, but even your incorrect assumptions about silverware.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Really, really looking forward to these semifinal games on Thursday night, Friday night. Obviously, I wish the Buckeyes were in it, but I'm over it. I just want 2 good games and then a national championship that is just really awesome, and then NFL football next weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it. Should be a fun weekend of football. We go back to work tomorrow as teachers. I'm not looking forward to that.
A knife is a fork also.
I am looking forward to it because that's my job. So we will get through it.
I love my job. Carol Bebat would be so happy. I love my job. ILMJ.
Yep.
Man, what a wonderful woman she is. Well,
best in the biz.
All right, man. What's you got to do the if you go to piss like a puppy, stay on the porch?
Yeah. Shout out Dylan for the shirt, by the way. My boy Dylan. He got this for me like 2 years ago.
So you have a shirt and cereal? I have nothing. I don't even have a freaking mic that you said you were going to get me.
We didn't get the 500. I say jabroni. I say if you're going to piss like a puppy, stay on the porch. People know. They just know me. They know my mantras. They know what I live by. They know what I stand by. Shout out.
And I'll be Kurt Signetti.
I bet he pregame. If you're going to piss like a puppy, stay on the porch. Let the Hoosiers eat.
I'm gonna start doing podcasts like Bill Belichick. Yeah, it's a nice shirt.
We need a thumbnail. Make your Signetti face. That's a good thumbnail. Thank you. All right. Later.
Yep. See ya.
If you're getting pissed like a puppy, stay on the porch. Hit it, Jamal.
Because if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat.